Okay, so here we have
this is a culture room where we have actually selected the plants, the peanut plants, which have got the gene for drought tolerance. So once these plants are rescued after selection, then we induce rooting on these plants. Now these plants are ready to be transplanted to the greenhouse, where they can be taken, and when we can recover the seed generation from these plants. And once we have the seeds, then we start doing a detailed analysis of these plants to see whether the gene is functional, whether it is doing the job it is supposed to be doing. And then we have a screening process and also some physiological characterization of these plants by growing them under drought conditions and seeing whether our plants can tolerate a high level of drought stress.
And you also have to check whether or not introducing this new gene has somehow inactivated or stopped another gene, such as one for disease resistance, from being expressed.
Yeah, it's a very detailed process. You know, when we are going through the selection process and characterization of these plants, we go through an extensive process to see whether these plants are normal, plus they have one additional trait, like in this case drought tolerance. So we don't want our plants, groundnut plant, to change other than having an additional source of tolerance to drought. This is done through extensive testing in the greenhouse conditions, and then we take this material to contained field trials because we still don't want to introduce this material to the environment. So they're done under environmental safety green net houses in the field conditions.
And at some point you have to do the ultimate test, which is whether or not it still tastes good.
Yeah, so then we go to a detailed biosafety and environmental safety of these plants to see whether these plants are same as the original plants in terms of their taste, in terms of their productivity, and that they don't pose any harm to the environment or to as an allergenic or toxicity. So once this whole process has gone through a detailed biosafety and food safety analysis, then the government gives permission, the host country governments give permission to introduce this into a breeding program, and then finally into the farmers' fields.